So here is your first look at a real and fake pair of the Nike Air Jordan 1 Low Zion. This is such a nice pair. Can you tell any differences between these two? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got another comparison for you between two pairs of Nike Air Jordan 1 Low Zion Williamson Voodoo. These are an incredible pair, and this is to show you what the difference is between a retail pair and a fake pair and what to look for if you're trying to purchase a retail pair. So we'll get straight into the comparison. So these are both a size UK 9, my true to size, and as you can tell, the box sizes are pretty different. So I'll show you from the close-up. So if you take a look at the close-up, you can see that the fake box is much larger than it is on the retail one. Like I said earlier, these are both a UK 9, so you'd expect the boxes to be the same. Also, I'd say the Nike logo on the top of the fake box is slightly darker red than the retail one. However, this is pretty close and can only really be seen in studio lighting. But we'll spin the shoe boxes around to the side, take a closer look at the labels. So if we look at the text at the top of the label, it says Air Jordan 1 Retro Low OGZ, you can see that the size and spacing of this text is very different from retail to fake. And if you look at where it has the size US 10, you can see that the spacing of this is very different once again. On the fake box, this 10 is really close to the barcode, whereas on the retail one, you can see there's a much larger space between the barcode and this size 10. So these are just small differences that you have to look for if you are trying to purchase a retail pair, because you're going to have to take a look at the label on the box if you are checking your pair. And obviously, if it doesn't come with a box, you're just buying the pair itself, you can't really look at these details. So we'll open them up, take a closer look at the shoes. So we'll open up both pairs. So open up the fake one. They've actually wrapped the paper around the shoe this time, which is pretty good. They don't normally do that. Open up the retail one. You can see the paper covers the shoes as well. So we'll open them up and take the shoes out. So here is your first look at a real and fake pair of the Nike Air Jordan 1 Low Zion. This is such a nice pair. Can you tell any differences between these two? So the first difference I'm going to point out between the two pairs is the actual toe box material. So if you take a look at the close-up, you can see the material is a slightly different color between the retail and fake. I'd say it's a darker maroony kind of suede on the fake one compared to the retail one. And if you look at the crosses on top, you can see these are slightly larger on the fake one compared to the retail one. However, these details are quite minor, but it's definitely something you're going to look for if you are trying to authenticate your pair. It might be quite hard to see, but if you take a look at this material going around the toe box edge, this green light material, if you take a close up between the retail and fake, you can see a difference in the color. What I would say is the fake one is a slightly darker green compared to the retail one. The retail one has a slightly lighter touch to it compared to the fake one, where you can see it's a much darker green. Also, if you look at the mini swoosh on the outer side of this green part here, it is slightly larger on the fake one compared to the retail one. And with these both being a UK 9, that sizing shouldn't change. Taking a look at the tongue of both of these pairs, you'll see it has this kind of orange-like suede material. If you show these side by side, you can see a difference between the retail and fake in terms of coloring. The fake one is a much darker orange compared to the retail one, and if you rub your finger over the retail one, it does actually change color, whereas the fake one doesn't. It just stays that darker orange. So it's a key difference between the two pairs. Taking a look at the Nike Air tag on the tongue itself, you'll see that it is actually upside down. It's meant to be like that. However, the spacing is different from the retail to fake. So if you look at the retail one, you can see it's quite a tight label and the Nike Air text pretty much cuts off at both edges. Whereas on the fake one, you can see the label is much larger and has a gap at either side of the edge. It's just a clear difference to see with both pairs. Spinning this label upside down and taking a closer look at the text on both of these labels, you'll see a difference here. And you can actually see that the text on the fake one is quite smudged and just compact. It doesn't look very nice and tidy, whereas on the retail one you can see this label is very well done and doesn't really have any mistakes on it at all. And if you look at the fake one, it just looks a little bit messy compared. So if we look at the back heel part, and you'll see this kind of face at the back heel here, if we compare these side by side, we can see differences. So if you take a closer look at the side by side, you can see the fake one, the stitching is a little bit thicker than it is on the retail one, and it's a little bit larger. And also if you look at the button that's actually stitched on here, you can see that the button color is slightly darker on the fake one compared to the retail one. It's a darker green on the fake one compared to the retail one. And this is really easy to see if you're comparing them side by side. If you have one pair in hand, it might be quite hard to see, but the larger stitching is pretty easy to see. Taking a look at the back heel tab, you'll see it has the Air Jordan Wings logo. This once again is upside down. It's a pretty cool detail. I really like every little aspect of this shoe. There's just more things to discover every time you look at it. But if you compare the Air Jordan Wings logo side by side, you can see that it's larger on the fake one compared to the retail one. and it's just a lot bolder on the fake one compared to the retail one. The retail one is a lighter green compared to the fake one, and the sizing is the big difference between the two and is the easiest thing to see when you're comparing them side by side. Looking at this almost scribble-like pattern here at the back heel on the inside, you can see a difference between the retail and fake. And if I show you this in the close-up side by side, you can see that this is a lighter gold kind of color on the retail one compared to the fake one. The fake one has a more hint of silver, so the color is slightly off and it stands out a lot more on the retail pair compared to the fake one. And if you look at the material that it's placed on, it's a larger cut on the fake one compared to the retail one. So the slight cut at the back of the heel is wrong, so it makes the shoe a little bit chunky on the fake pair compared to the retail pair if you hold them up side by side. If we take a look at the outer side and we look at this suede-like material underneath the swoosh, so it's kind of like that light tan-like color. If I show you these side by side, we can see differences in the material. So from the close-up, you can see that the suede-like material is slightly longer on the retail one compared to the fake one. The fake one doesn't have that same kind of look of quality because it's just a slightly shorter suede. It doesn't have quite the same look as the retail pair, and it's quite easy to see from the side by side. If we look at the inside of the pair and look at the retail one here, you can see these stitch marks going here where it stitched the two panels together, or what it's meant to look like. I think it's really cool. However, if we compare them side by side, retail to fake, you can see that this stitching is much larger on the fake one compared to the retail one. The retail one, you can see the stitching is much more closely done, whereas the fake one, you can see there's large stitches going from panel to panel. So if you peel back the heel tab, you will see it says Zion underneath, as you can see here. If I show you from the close-up side by side, you can see the text on the fake one is much larger than it is on the retail one, and the overall print quality is a little bit better on the retail one. As you can see from the face on the O, the print quality on the top is very bad on the fake one compared to the retail one. So now we'll take a look at the left side and the accessories. So they do come with a set of spare laces. There's kind of a tan-like color, and so do the fake one. What I would say is comparing them side by side, the color is slightly different between the two. I'd say the retail one has a slightly more gray look to it, and also the fake one is a little bit thicker and rounder compared to the retail one. So inside the shoe now, they both do come with shoe trees, like you can see here, the retail one and the fake one. Comparing them side by side, I would say the indents on the fake one are slightly more than they are on the retail one. It's easier to read the stuff on the fake one compared to the retail one. And if you spin these upside down, it does say die cut sock liner on both ones, but it's actually harder to see on the retail one compared to the fake one. So both insoles are actually stuck inside the shoe, but I'll show you from above in the camera angle. You can see differences in the print on the insole itself. So if you take a look at the actual face, you can see the quality difference between the retail and fake. On the fake one, you can see that the print is not as good as it is on the retail one. It's just a little bit thicker and smudged compared to the retail one. Also, the sizing is a little bit off and the color is a little bit off, but hopefully this shows up on the camera because it's really easy to see in person the difference between the two insoles. And the final difference, if you take a look underneath the heel tab of the left pair, you can see it says Voodoo on the back, and from the close-up you can see a difference between the quality once again and the actual color. So it's slightly larger on the fake one compared to the retail one, and a different color between the two, and the print quality once again is much better on the retail pair compared to the fake one. So I hope this video has helped you if you are trying to authenticate and purchase a pair of retail Voodoo Zions, because this pair is incredible and I love it. Absolutely love it. The details on it are so good, and it's up there with the Year of the Rabbit Jordan 1 lows, and that one's extremely rare. This one's not as rare, but I think the details just make up for it. Let me know down below in the comments if you're looking to purchase a pair or can spot any more differences between the retail and fake. I love this pair. I think it's so cool. But thanks for watching. I hope this video has helped you. Have an amazing day.